Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm your host, Kelly, and today we've got something really special to talk about. It's a project that's going to give us a fresh, behind-the-scenes look at a sport that's not often in the public eye, polo. But what makes this documentary even more captivating is the fact that it involves none other than Prince Harry and his close friend, Nacho Figueras. Yes, you heard that right. Prince Harry, through his production company Archwell, is bringing us a brand new documentary series on Netflix called Polo. The series promises to take us deep into the world of elite players, offering a rare glimpse of what it's really like to be part of this fast-paced and prestigious sport. Today we're going to explore everything there is to know about this project, from the significance of Harry's involvement to the long-standing friendship he shares with Nacho Figueras. But before we dive into the details, let's take a step back and reflect on why this documentary is such a big deal. Sure, Prince Harry has been involved in many causes. He's known for his dedication to charity work, especially through organisations like Centre. But polo has always had a special place in his life. It's a sport that not only allows him to stay active and competitive, but also serves as a platform for raising funds for important causes. And now, with polo, Harry is using his passion for the sport to create something that will reach millions of people worldwide. So, whether you're a fan of polo or just curious about what this new chapter holds for Prince Harry, stay tuned. We've got a lot to unpack in this episode. All right, so let's get started with the basics. Polo is set to premiere in December on Netflix, and it's being produced under Archwell Productions, Harry and Meghan Markle's company. The documentary aims to give viewers an exclusive look at the world of polo, following elite global players as they compete in this exhilarating and often misunderstood sport. But what makes this project even more interesting is the dynamic between Harry and Nacho Figueras, his longtime friend and fellow polo player. The bond between them goes far beyond the polo field, and we'll get to that soon. But first, let's talk about why this documentary is such a pivotal moment for Harry and his work. Now, let's dive into the heart of this project, the friendship between Prince Harry and Nacho Figueras. If you followed Harry's life, you probably know that his involvement with polo isn't just a hobby. It's something that's deeply intertwined with his philanthropic work, and one of the key figures who has stood by him through it all is Nacho. Their friendship dates back to 2007, when they met at a charity polo match benefiting Centre, a charity that Harry co-founded with Prince Seiso of Lesotho. The goal of Centre is to support vulnerable children and young people affected by HIV/AIDS in southern Africa. This organisation holds a special place in Harry's heart, as it's named after his late mother, Princess Diana. Polo has been a cornerstone of their fundraising efforts, and that's where Nacho Figueras comes in. Nacho, who is an Argentine professional polo player and often referred to as the David Beckham of polo, became one of Harry's closest friends after that 2007 match. Their shared love for the sport and passion for philanthropy created a bond that has only grown stronger over the years. And what's particularly touching is how their friendship extends beyond just the polo field. In an interview with People, Nacho spoke about his friendship with Harry, calling him a dear friend and saying it was an honour to work with him on the polo documentary. It's clear that Nacho holds Harry in high regard, not just as a teammate, but as a person. And that's something we've seen time and again in public statements, interviews, and social media posts. For example, on Harry's 40th birthday, Nacho posted a heartfelt message on Instagram saying, "Happy 40th, brother. From the polo fields to all the moments in between, I'm grateful for the bond we share. Here's to many more laughs, memories, and good times ahead. Love you." It's moments like these that show the depth of their relationship. It's more than just about polo. It's about loyalty, shared values, and mutual respect. And if we take a look at their journey, we can see how polo has been a way for them to connect with the causes that matter most to them. Whether it's through charity matches for Centre or other philanthropic events, Harry and Nacho have used their influence in the world of polo to make a difference in the lives of others. This is something that will undoubtedly be highlighted in the polo documentary, as it gives us an inside look at not just the sport, but the people who are passionate about it. Let's talk about a few key moments that have defined their friendship over the years. In 2018, for instance, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle attended the Centre ISPS Handa Polo Cup in Windsor, where Harry competed alongside Nacho. The event raised money for Centobali, and Harry's team emerged victorious. Afterward, Meghan famously presented Harry with the winner's trophy, sharing a sweet kiss with her husband in front of the cameras. That moment became one of the most iconic images of the couple and showcased how integral polo is to their lives. In 2022, after Harry and Meghan relocated to California, Harry joined the Los Padres polo team, which was co-founded by Nacho. The two competed together in several matches, continuing their tradition of using the sport to raise awareness and funds for charity. Whether they're playing in the UK, the US, or Africa, Harry and Nacho have consistently used polo as a way to give back to those in need. So, as we look ahead to the Polo documentary, it's clear that the story isn't just about the sport. It's about friendship, philanthropy, and the power of using one's platform to create positive change. And we'll get to see all of that through the lens of two men who have dedicated much of their lives to making a difference. Let's take a step back and talk about polo as a sport. For many of us, polo is associated with royalty, aristocracy, and a certain level of exclusivity. But the truth is, there's so much more to polo than meets the eye. It's a sport with a rich history, one that dates back thousands of years, and it has evolved into a fast-paced, competitive game that demands both skill and strategy. Polo originated in Persia over 2,000 years ago, and it was initially a training game for cavalry units. It eventually spread to other parts of the world, including India, where it was adopted by British colonial officers. By the 19th century, polo had become popular among the British elite, and it was soon introduced to the rest of the world. Today, polo is played in over 80 countries, but it's still considered a niche sport in many places. In countries like Argentina, the sport has a massive following, and it's home to some of the world's best polo players, including Nacho Figueras. Argentina is often regarded as the Mecca of polo, with its wide open spaces and ideal conditions for breeding and training horses. It's no wonder that players from around the globe flock to Argentina to hone their skills and compete in prestigious tournaments. But while polo enjoys immense popularity in places like Argentina and parts of the UK, it has struggled to gain a foothold in other parts of the world, particularly in the US and Europe. One of the main challenges is its association with wealth and privilege. Polo is an expensive sport to play, requiring access to horses, equipment, and large fields. As a result, it's often seen as a sport for the elite, which has made it difficult to attract a more diverse and widespread audience. This is where Polo, the documentary, comes in. By giving viewers an inside look at the sport, Prince Harry and Nacho Figueras hope to demystify polo and make it more accessible to a broader audience. Nacho has spoken about this in interviews, saying that one of the goals of the documentary is to introduce millions of people to what the sport is all about. He's even compared it to Drive to Survive, the Formula One documentary series that brought the world of racing to a global audience and significantly increased the sport's popularity. So, what makes polo so special? For starters, it's a game that combines athleticism, strategy, and teamwork. Players need to be highly skilled riders, able to control their horses with precision, while also focusing on the ball and the opposing team. The speed and agility of the horses add an extra layer of excitement to the game, making it one of the most thrilling sports to watch. Matches are typically divided into 6 periods, known as chukkers, each lasting about 7 minutes. During that time, players race up and down the field, trying to score goals by hitting the ball through the opposing team's goalposts. But polo isn't just about physical prowess, it's also a mental game. Players need to be able to anticipate their opponent's moves, strategize with their teammates, and make split-second decisions on the field. And then there's the connection between the players and their horses. In polo, the horse is just as important as the player, and the bond between the two is crucial to success. Polo ponies are specially trained for the sport, and they're known for their speed, agility, and stamina. Many players have a deep affection for their ponies, and it's not uncommon to hear them speak about their horses as if they were teammates. However, despite its thrills and elegance, polo faces challenges in gaining mainstream recognition. One of the biggest hurdles is its accessibility. Unlike other sports like soccer or basketball, which can be played with minimal equipment in almost any setting, polo requires specialized resources, horses, gear, and expansive fields. This has limited its reach, and many people perceive it as a sport reserved for the wealthy. This is where Harry and Nacho's documentary could make a significant impact. By pulling back the curtain and showing the reality of polo, its challenges, its highs, its lows, they are helping to open the sport up to a new audience. Just as Drive to Survive introduced Formula One to people who had never watched a race before, Polo aims to do the same for polo. The documentary has the potential to showcase the sport in a new light, presenting it as a competitive and thrilling game that can be enjoyed by everyone, not just the elite. And while it's important to acknowledge the obstacles polo faces, there are also plenty of reasons to be optimistic about its future. In recent years, we've seen a growing interest in the sport, particularly in countries like the US and the UK. More and more people are discovering the excitement and beauty of polo, and events like the Veuve Clicquot Polo Classic have helped bring the sport into the public eye. So as we look forward to the premiere of polo, we can only hope that this documentary will play a role in further expanding the sport's reach. Whether you're a seasoned polo fan or someone who's never seen a match before, there's no doubt that polo will offer something new and exciting for everyone to enjoy. Now that we've explored the world of polo and the bond between Harry and Nacho, let's dive into the making of Polo, the documentary series that's set to give us an inside look at the sport like never before. For Prince Harry, this project is more than just a chance to showcase a beloved sport. It's an opportunity to connect with people on a deeper level through storytelling. The series is being produced under Archewell Productions, Harry and Meghan's media company, which they launched after stepping down from their royal roles. Archewell Productions is all about creating content that inspires and informs, with a focus on storytelling that highlights important issues and brings about positive change. And Polo fits perfectly within that mission. When Netflix announced the documentary on September 9th, they described it as a series that follows elite global players and offers an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the fast-paced world of the sport. But what does that really mean? What can we expect to see when the series premieres in December? In an interview at the Veuve Clicquot Polo Classic, Nacho Figueras gave us a little insight into what went into making the documentary. He said that the series isn't about him or Harry, it's about the sport itself and the people who are passionate about it. "We've been working very hard on it, and we're very excited about the outcome," Nacho said. He also teased that there will be some surprises in the documentary, but he didn't want to give too much away. One of the things that makes this project unique is the fact that it's not just about the matches themselves, it's about everything that happens behind the scenes. We'll get to see the preparation that goes into each match, the training, the strategy sessions, and the emotional highs and lows that come with competing at such a high level. We'll also get to know the players on a more personal level, learning about their backgrounds, their motivations, and the challenges they face both on and off the field. And of course, there's the bond between the players and their horses. As we mentioned earlier, the relationship between a polo player and their pony is crucial to success in the sport. In polo, we'll get a chance to see that bond up close, as the players work with their horses to achieve their goals on the field, the sport to millions of people who may have never had the chance to experience it before. By offering an inside look at the preparation, teamwork and skill involved, the series aims to break down the barriers that have historically made polo seem inaccessible. Much like Drive to Survive brought Formula One racing to a wider audience, polo has the potential to spark a similar interest in the world of polo. According to Nacho Figueras, this documentary has been something he's been waiting for his entire life. For Nacho, and undoubtedly for Harry too, this project is not just about filming polo matches and showing off an elegant sport, but rather it's about giving people a peek into a world that they may have thought wasn't for them. Polo has always been seen as a sport for the elite, something reserved for royalty, wealthy families, and a select few. But with this documentary, Harry and Nacho are setting out to prove that polo can be enjoyed by anyone. And speaking of Harry, it's important to remember that this is very much his project as well. In fact, Nacho was quick to point out in his interview with People that polo is more Harry's project than his. That's a significant statement because it shows that Harry has really taken the reins on this, bringing his passion for the sport and his unique perspective to the forefront. With Archewell Productions behind it, There's no doubt that the series will reflect the values that Harry and Meghan have consistently promoted: inclusivity, compassion, and a desire to create meaningful change. But one of the most exciting aspects of the documentary is the fact that it offers more than just sports footage. It's a window into the lives of the players, their dedication, and their relationships with their horses. We'll get to see not only the competitive aspect of polo, but also the behind-the-scenes work that goes into making a successful polo player. It's about humanizing the players, breaking down the misconceptions about the sport, and showcasing the deep passion that drives these athletes forward. Now, let's talk a bit more about Harry's personal connection to polo. For Prince Harry, polo has always been more than just a game. It's a sport that's closely tied to his charitable work, his friendships, and his personal life. From a young age, Harry was exposed to the sport thanks to his family's long-standing tradition of playing polo. Both his father, Prince Charles, and his older brother, Prince William, are accomplished polo players. In many ways, polo has been a staple of royal life, a way for the royals to engage with the public while also raising money for important causes. But for Harry, polo has become a platform for doing good in the world. Over the years, he's used the sport as a way to support various charities, particularly Centabale, the organisation he co-founded in 2006, to help children in southern Africa affected by HIV/AIDS. Polo has played a significant role in Centabale's fundraising efforts, with Harry participating in numerous charity matches to raise money for the cause. The Centabale ISPS Handa Polo Cup, in particular, has been a major event, bringing together some of the best polo players in the world to compete for a good cause. In fact, the bond between Harry and Nacho Figueras was forged through one of these charity matches. The two met at a Centabale charity match in 2007, and their friendship has only grown stronger over the years. As teammates and friends, they've competed in countless polo matches together, always with the goal of raising money for important causes. And while the sport itself is thrilling, for Harry, it's always been about more than just winning. It's about using his platform to make a difference in the world. And that's something we'll likely see reflected in the Polo documentary. While the series is undoubtedly going to showcase the excitement and elegance of the sport, it will also highlight the ways in which polo can be a force for good. Whether it's through charity matches, fundraising events, or simply raising awareness about the sport, Harry and Nacho have always used polo as a way to give back. And that's a message that's sure to resonate with viewers. But Harry's connection to polo goes beyond his charitable work. It's also a sport that has allowed him to stay connected to his family's traditions while forging his own path. In many ways, polo represents a link between Harry's royal upbringing and the life he's created for himself outside of the royal family. Even after stepping down from his royal duties and moving to California, Harry has continued to play polo, joining the Los Padres team alongside Nacho. For Harry, polo is not just a sport, it's a way to stay connected to his roots while also embracing his new life. Let's not forget that for Harry, polo is also deeply personal. It's a sport that allows him to relax, to connect with friends, and to channel his competitive spirit in a positive way. In many ways, polo has been a constant in Harry's life, a way for him to find balance amid the challenges of royal life, and, more recently, his life in the public eye. When he plays polo, we see a different side of Prince Harry. He's not the prince who's making headlines or dealing with the pressures of being in the spotlight. He's simply a man who loves the game, who enjoys the camaraderie of his teammates, and who's passionate about using the sport to make a difference. And that's something that makes the Polo documentary so exciting. It's going to show us that side of Harry, the side that's dedicated to his passions and his friends, and the side that's always looking for ways to give back. As we look ahead to the premiere of Polo, one of the most intriguing questions is, what impact will this documentary have on the future of polo? For years, polo has been considered a sport for the elite, something that's out of reach for most people. But with this documentary, there's a real opportunity to change that perception and introduce polo to a new generation of fans. If the success of Drive to Survive is any indication, polo could have a similar effect on the sport. Before Drive to Survive, Formula One racing was a niche sport with a relatively small global following. But the documentary series changed all that, bringing the excitement of racing to a much wider audience. It showed viewers the personalities behind the drivers, the drama of the races, and the intense preparation that goes into each event. As a result, Formula One has seen a massive increase in popularity, particularly among younger viewers. Could polo do the same for polo? It's certainly possible. By giving viewers an inside look at the sport, the series has the potential to break down the barriers that have historically kept people from getting involved in polo. Whether it's the perception that the sport is only for the wealthy or the lack of exposure to polo in certain parts of the world, polo has the opportunity to change the narrative. And it's not just about attracting new fans. It's also about creating opportunities for people to get involved in the sport. Whether it's through youth programs, community polo clubs, or partnerships with schools, there are ways to make polo more accessible to people from all walks of life. And with Prince Harry and Nacho Figueras leading the charge, there's a real chance that polo could inspire a new generation of players and fans. Of course, changing perceptions and growing the sport won't happen overnight. It will take time, effort, and a commitment to making polo more inclusive. But with the platform that Netflix provides, there's no doubt that polo will have a global reach. It's an exciting time for the sport, and we can't wait to see what happens next. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Sussexes Chronicles. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the upcoming polo documentary and the incredible bond between Prince Harry and Nacho Figueras. This project is not only a celebration of a sport that's been an integral part of Harry's life, but it's also an opportunity to introduce polo to millions of people around the world. As we've discussed today, polo isn't just about the sport itself. It's about friendship, philanthropy, and breaking down barriers. It's about showing the world that polo can be enjoyed by anyone, not just the elite. And with Harry and Nacho at the helm, we know that this documentary is going to be something truly special. So whether you're a longtime polo fan or someone who's curious about the sport for the first time, be sure to keep an eye out for the premiere of Polo on Netflix this December. We can't wait to see what's in store, and we'll be here to bring you all the latest updates as the release date approaches. Thank you for tuning in to the Sussexes Chronicles. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We'll be back soon with more in-depth discussions on all things Harry and Meghan, so stay tuned. Until next time.